Good morning, my garden friends, and welcome to another Sunday morning backyard garden tour. I'm super excited about today's video because my husband, John, I just got married last week, so I'm no longer calling John my roommate, is going to make a special appearance at the end of this video. Not quite what you think. He's not going to make the appearance from my garden. You see, John works in Yosemite National Park and Forest, and he has something special he'd like to say to you. But before that happens, let me show you how beautiful my garden is looking. Today I'm going to start in the center of my garden. I call this area my iron plant stand. Somebody actually handcrafted this beautiful stand out of rebar. A friend of mine saw it dumped off in a gutter. Can you believe somebody was actually going to throw this away? They said, "Hey, I think Liz might like this for her garden." So they gave it to me. I couldn't believe it. Look at that, all that rebar somebody soldered together. My father always taught me that one man's junk is another man's treasure. And I definitely treasure this. I have no idea what the person made this for. Do you think it was in a store displaying belts and purses or clothes? Or do you think somebody made it for a garden? Why on earth would they throw it away? Oh well. It's in my garden now, and I absolutely love it. As you can see, my vinca is growing so well. My wave petunias are looking beautiful, and my creeping Jenny is thriving and looking so lush. I'm hoping it trails all the way down by the end of summer, so it looks like green waterfalls are cascading down. I have Canterbury bells growing in that little pot. I'm just waiting for them to bloom. I grew them from seed, but they sure are taking their time. More creeping Jenny in this little vintage tea kettle. And look at my Supertunia Vista bubblegum and jazzberry. After they got attacked pretty hard by bugs, I cut them all back, and look at how well they're growing again. And there's more Canterbury bells right there. And I'm trying to grow dahlias this year, but I admit they haven't really been doing well for me. So I cut this one all the way back, but it looks like it's returning with a vengeance. So I'm hoping I'll get some blooms off that one again. And right here I have a pepper and some marigolds. Did you know that when you water marigolds, you should spray all the foliage because that will keep back the spider mites? And marigolds always get attacked by spider mites in the summertime. So don't be scared to hose them off and give them a good shower. I always thought that you should never water plants above and you shouldn't get the foliage wet because of like mildew and leaf spots. But with marigolds, it's different. They love to be washed off. And I do notice the difference, less spider mites. And look at my friends, look at my beautiful sweet potato vines. I'm super pleased with the way this vintage bathtubs look. I have a lantana growing out of the center, and my beautiful sweet potato vines are trailing down. I do admit, though, I have become a slave to my garden. I find myself watering every single day, sometimes twice, but it's worth it because I have noticed the difference. And with a coleus in the center, and I couldn't be more pleased. Let me just step over these plants. Now let me show you my zinnias. Zinnias are so interesting. No two zinnias are alike, and I just love the shapes of the flowers. And you know me, I absolutely love color, and nothing screams color more like zinnias. I mean, look at the big giant center of that one. It's absolutely massive. They just make me so happy. And here's a backside view. And if you notice, my proven winners, Zupertunia Vista Bubblegum, that comes back every year. I just gave that a severe haircut, and voila, it's growing again and producing more beautiful flowers. So don't ever be scared to cut back your petunias. And a beautiful salvia behind that, some cosmos and marigolds, and a backside view of my zinnias with volunteer sunflowers that are blooming everywhere. And I love the sunflowers because they act as a stake to sometimes hold up the zinnias. And in case you haven't met her yet, this is my sweet cat Cookie resting underneath my Decandra Silver Falls. I have 3 cats, Cookie, her brother Tommy, which is the orange tabby, and Lucky. I named her Cookie because of all the spots on her fur. It looks like she has cookies on her. A lot of stuff going on behind the zinnias. This is kind of like a hodgepodge of plants. I have a firecracker plant back there, and the purple flowers is a society garlic. Just a bunch of hodgepodge of plants. And I know sometimes in my videos, I often get comments from my viewers telling me, oh, I would have enjoyed the video if I didn't have to hear your dogs barking. Well, I would like to let you know that those are not my dogs. I live right behind a dog kennel, and every morning when they open up the business, the dogs start to bark. So it's nothing I can control, but that's just life. We can't always control our surroundings, right? Airplanes, trains. In my case, it's dogs barking. But look what I want to show you. This is so crazy. My hollyhock is going to bloom again. I thought they only bloomed in spring, but look at this long shoot. And I actually like the hollyhock this time of year because there's no rust on the leaves. So crazy. I don't have a lot of experience with hollyhocks, so this one's new to me, but I can't wait to show you. And over here is my grandchildren's fairy garden. I planted some vinca underneath the Japanese maple tree with some impatiens, and I got those stepping stones at the Dollar Tree. I noticed they are starting to fade, so next year I will replace them, or maybe I'll paint them myself. Who knows? And I have a bottle tree, a cute little antique ice cream parlor chair, and I painted all those doors myself. Right down here, that chartreuse green plant is a euphorbia. And right over there is my succulent propagation station. My white Natchez crepe myrtle tree is done blooming. That's my water fountain garden. But if you look at my lily turf, are blooming now. I love the variegated leaves on these. It just adds so much color and interest to this area. You know, a lot of times we grow things with big, beautiful flowers to add color to our garden. But there's something to be said for the leaves, the foliage. And I just love the sweet little purple flowers. To me, they look like popsicles. This is my water fountain garden. I have 2 clematis that are growing up each side of the arbor. And here is another view of my water fountain garden, starting with my beautiful chartreuse green coleus. I forgot the name. I have a bad memory and I don't always save the tags, with a beautiful pink cordyline. And behind that, my agapanthuses are blooming. A little bottle tree and my succulent barrel. And yes, I paint all the doors myself. It's always fun and interesting to get a perspective of one's garden from different angles. This is what it looks like if I'm standing right by the water fountain. And inside my succulent barrel, I believe those green and yellow plants are called mangaves. And I know they're going to get absolutely huge one day, but I'll worry about that when the time comes. For now, I love the way the green and the yellow play off the same green and yellow colors that I painted on the succulent barrel. So you see just another example of adding color to your garden without flowers. Even though my Gara isn't producing showy flowers right now, the tips are red, and I think it's just so pretty against the green foliage. See all the beautiful color? The sun shines through that pink cordyline. My little cactus corner with all the different textures and leaf shapes. Underneath my dwarf fig tree, a Miss Figgy fig tree, see that succulent right there? That just came from a tiny little piece from that succulent. I was propagating one day and cleaning things up and just threw it underneath the fig tree and it grew into a big giant plant. Totally unintentional, not planned at all. So when a plant comes up on their own as a volunteer, I kind of just let them be because they chose their spot. They're very happy. So I just figured, why not let them thrive? And it always makes the garden changing and evolving and looking different, that's for sure. Just like all my sunflowers, I didn't plant any of these. They just pretty much come up wherever they want. So I just let them be. My beautiful Elizabeth bougainvillea, I think it's kind of reached its peak and the bracts are starting to fade away. But this is only the second year that I've had it. And this is probably the third or fourth time it's bloomed this time of year. I absolutely love it. A lot of people ask me, how do I get it so big? Well, I think the trick to bougainvillea is you water it really, really good once a week, but then you let the roots dry out. They don't like soggy feet. So that's the only thing that I do. And I don't fertilize it a lot at all. I'm told not to fertilize bougainvilleas. So maybe I fertilize it once a month with a liquid fertilizer, but it just loves the spot. Maybe because where I live, I get super sandy soil. So maybe because it drains very well. I don't know. This is Freya the farmer with Lottie the lamb and Petunia the pig. This is my scarecrow garden. And if you notice those big giant bricks, those came from that garden area that right now I'm right in the middle of transforming and making over. But I don't have anything to tell you about that area just yet. That's going to be the future home of my new bridge garden. I will make a video and show you that another time. But this is my little cottage garden. Because my garden is so small, I have to do everything on a smaller scale. I have some stacked pots. I took the vincas out. I decided to put marigolds there instead. And I have a Martha Washington geranium and lots of more marigolds down there. And my granddaughter painted that door for me. It's the only door in my garden that I did not paint myself. And I just love it. I think it looks like a party cake door. My husband John calls it the Skittle door. I call this area in my garden my little happy place. Just a fun and quiet little area where I enjoy my morning tea, work on projects, paint doors, and do all sorts of fun stuff. Because my garden is so small, this is also where I do a lot of potting plants. Someday I hope to have a potting table, but for now, this is where all the magic is made. Just a bunch of fun stuff, watering cans, license plates, colored bottles, a vintage sink with a maidenhair fern growing inside, some painted shovels, an old window, signs that I paint. Don't worry, be happy. And now it's time to hear from John.
Hi everyone, this is John, Liz's husband. I thought I would take a little video of everything up here in Yosemite, one of the most iconic views, and take this chance to say thank you to all of you for all your wonderful comments about our getting married. It is really heartfelt to see and read those comments, and I hope you guys know how much we love all of you and we appreciate all your love. So this is just a little bit of the old park and Half Dome right there. Truly beautiful. Well, back to the truck. Got to go pick up a car. There she is, my little office away from home, working in a most beautiful park. What a place to work. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much again for all your wonderful comments.
Well, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a beautiful day in your garden too. Bye.